Hi guys, welcome back to the Mercurio Project. Today's topic is going to be on why hate and anger is a bad source of motivation and why love and kindness is. Um, so, uh, Growing up, I had an unconventional childhood. Um, and when I was about 14 or so, my mother and my stepfather went through a really nasty divorce. Um, it was very difficult. I was needlessly involved in it. I'll get into all the craziness at a later date. Uh, Maybe I'll do a video on like all the horrible things that have ever happened to me. Yeah, but um, so I was angry. Especially at my mother, for the way that she had been treating me, and my stepfather, or my former stepfather, uh, not made me, but persuaded me that all of this anger could be put to good use. Um, so I had this fantasy of becoming very rich and successful and powerful, to show them all, right? You gotta show them all that they were wrong about you, and that, like, work hard to prove your enemies wrong, and yada yada. So everything that I was doing, my schoolwork, my hobbies, my athletics, came from this very dark place of hate and anger to prove people wrong, to prove all the people that bullied me in middle school that I was better than them. Like it's such a petty thing. So that all kind of came to an end when uh, I did something really crappy, and I suffered the consequences for it, and those consequences left me homeless. Living out of my car, basically. I was living out of my car for like about 3 to 4 months. And that prompted me to do a lot of soul searching. And I realized that this hate and anger, and a lot in the self improvement community, which is like also kind of a gateway to red pill or like the manosphere almost. They talk about like, use that, prove them wrong. And I think it's a very emotionally immature mentality. Um, I would argue that a good source of, because it's this poison, right? If you are constantly doing everything out of a place of negativity, if every action that you do to improve yourself comes from this dark place, you're not really improving yourself. Um, Now, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think hate and anger definitely have their place to some extent, but it shouldn't be your sole motivator. So I went through this very deep spiritual and psychological metamorphosis. I was going to therapy 3 times a week, um, and really like living below my means. I mean, I almost went like as a monk almost. I mean, I was eating very little, um, and I was experiencing this retributive suffering, and it made me think like why am I waking up at 5 a.m. to show who? Who am I trying to impress? Um, why am I working out? Once again, who am I trying to impress? Why am I studying? Why am I doing any of this stuff? And you notice that it affects your relationships too. Um, a lot of like these self-improvement guys, uh, like like the Fresh and Fit podcast, or like God, can I even say Andrew Tate? Like, it comes from a place of sheer negativity. So I decided that everything I wanted to do was going to come from a place of love, not just love for myself, but love for other people and love for the world. Um, and not like this nice guy, like, oh, I'm kind to people so I can get kindness back. This really true and deep, uh, unconditional love. Like, my philosophy was that I would be as kind to anyone, even if they weren't kind to me back, simply because kindness is a strength. It is a very deep and powerful and positive source of strength. And love no matter what, love no matter my differences, no matter if I disagreed with this person or agreed with them, no matter even if this person had done me horrific wrong, I would still come from a place of love, because everyone deserves some form of kindness in any way, shape, or form. Um, and I found that coming from this selflessness improved my life exponentially. And I mean true selflessness, not expecting anything in return. I gave people money, not simply because it was the right thing to do, in my opinion. I gave people rides, not expecting anything in return. I opened my heart to the world, and this love also doesn't just stem to people, but it stems to events and experiences. I fell in love with my situation, and because of it, it allowed me to really, truly, and deeply love other people. Um, and shortly after my stint with homelessness, oops, sorry, notification came up. Shortly after my experience with homelessness and this dark place that I was in, um, my relationship with my family got better. I fell in love, with my current partner. And have been in a really happy, committed relationship ever since. And because I'm this, not to say like toxic positivity, like, oh, you should just get over it, you know what I mean? But just like, I accept and I acknowledge and I appreciate the circumstances that I am in, and I acknowledge that they're bad, and I acknowledge that there's another opportunity waiting for me, you know? And because of this, I kind of became a role model. I work with kids. I'm a gymnastics coach, and I always tell my kids, like, when I'm doing a handstand or I'm doing pull-ups or muscle-ups or a planche or whatever, and they're like, whoa, how are you doing that? You're so strong. I always tell them it's because I'm kind. Not because of my muscles, not because of my workout. It is because I am kind, because it is so difficult to be unconditionally kind, and it is so difficult to unconditionally love. And that is true strength. And this unconditional love helps me in my relationships. Like I said, to just, because it's just this emotional immaturity that's like, well, you did this to me, so I'm going to do this to you back. And it's like, no. You got to be the bigger person and rise above that kind of mentality, because that cycle of just, you attacked me, so I'm going to attack you, is like crabs in a bucket. And we don't want to be crabs in a bucket. We're people, right? So everything that you do should come from this place of love. It should come from this place of acceptance. It should come from this place of understanding. And it's difficult. Don't get me wrong. It is so easy to be like get angry. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm saying that it's the right way to go about it. I like to think about it. I mean, all my role models are fictional. You know what I mean? I try to be a good partner like Gomez Addams. I think that's a great positive masculine role for young men. I think everyone should be like Gomez Addams. I think that Optimus Prime, the strength to be gentle, you know what I mean? The strength to be kind and support others and to forgive. I'm strong like Superman to love a world that you don't even really know, that you can't experience. And it's opened so many pathways instead of this closed-minded, I need to work to prove everyone wrong. It's like, no, I'm working because I love the work that I do. I do photography because I love it. I'm learning a new language because I love the world. I cook because I love food. I work out because I love my body and I love what it's capable of. I listen to others because the opportunity to make a friend will always be better and preferable than the opportunity to make an enemy. So, on your journey, if you're on this journey with me, do your things out of a place of love, not out of a place of hate or anger. It's not going to be easy because people are horrible. Sometimes people will say horrible things and get under your skin, but just take a deep breath and come from a place of love. In fact, I'm not the only person that has adopted this mentality. Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers, talked about how he could persuade people that disliked him into being some of his best friends, and the tip was to ask him for a favor. Or it was to ask them for a favor. Can I borrow this book? And the person would lend them the book, and then that relationship would heal. So don't come... Sorry, it's my cat. Don't come from a place of negativity. Don't come from a place of hatred. Don't come from a place of anger. Come from a place of love and consideration and positivity, and you will find that you will achieve your goals much faster. It's a much better fuel source. Marzipan. Sorry, she's being a brat right now. You want to come say hi? No, she doesn't. But thank you guys for tuning in. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.